There. Preheated the shop a little bit. Hello, Spam. Damn. Way the stream stays stable tonight. It already bugged out on me once real briefly. See how it goes. Kind of fit. Set up top, and I don't really remember where they went. Fortunately. Oh, the valves ended up being very bad. Yes, indeed. They're not all super easy to see, and a couple of them are worse than others, but they all have this, turn the light on. They all have that little spot there where the carbon's knocked off. And find one that's actually, I think this one's, oh, that one's kind of noticeable. Not that it'll focus. You can kind of see that that's bent. Yep. All new exhaust valves. Yeah, I think they'll be alright. There wasn't any obvious damage other than the little dings in the top, so. Let's see. It's not like it was as far out as to, embed any of the valves in the tops of the pistons. So pretty confident we're safe there. Kind of hoping that would go in nicely with the. Just bend that up out of the way. Shouldn't have taken that off, maybe. That or I've got the router wrong. Try that. Oh, there we go. That's fine. That's okay. Alright, where did I put the... Yeah, where I set down the screw for that. Screw bolt. Right here. I need a 10mm socket. Whoops. That's right, it's just a battery. It's fine. No worries. Left? Of course not, because we have the motor sideways. Sure. All kinds of beat to hell. And the focus for tonight, I think, is going to be on getting the front end and the intake back on. And so I can't get the flywheel on until I have it back on the hoist. Probably tomorrow evening. I'm not going to stream as late tonight as I did last night, I don't think. So probably tomorrow evening we'll be looking forward to sling that back in the car. See if I have my baby weld left. Liquid nails, I have vinyl cement, a lonely tube of anti-seize, I'm going to go out on a limb here and speculate that I used up all my JB weld. That stinks. I wanted to use that for something. Whoa, wait, what's this? A little bit of hardener. Okay, cool. I do still have some. That's good. Because all these plastic timing covers are all beaten up and cracked. I want to see if I can see them back together. I'll set the brake clip down. Clean this all off. Yep. Of course. Could do this over on the bench. I'm gonna do that. A little better. I've been up for almost 20 minutes. That'll continue. So this captive nut broke off the one plastic bit. I'll try and get that back out. Oh, good evening, everyone. Enjoying our extra hour of, I don't know, something. It always seems like extra hour of why is it light at 6 in the morning? I could be sleeping for another hour. And then now it's dark on my drive home. There we go. So we'll set that aside and clean that up a little further shortly. Take this where it's cracked mostly around where the weld nut went, which is fine. So we can just work him back in there. Hopefully. I have to open that up a little bit. There's some damage there when that pulled out. I wish this thing would focus better. There we go. Yeah. Tore up the plastic a little bit. It doesn't quite sit together cleanly with the with that captive nut in place. Try trimming a little bit of that. Get a chair.
Probably doesn't have to be ridiculously close, but close enough. I need a stirring stick. How about not a glove I never use. Yeah, about thing that I can't find. Somewhere around here I have a whole stack of windshield wiper inserts. Wish I could never lay a hand on one when I need it. Figures. Here's one. That will do. Nicely. This is the quick setting stuff, so I have a whole lot of time to dawdle. That's why I only made up a little bit of it, since I'm gonna need more of it likely. It's already starting to set up. Ought to be pretty close enough to what we need. Still going. Spackle over that a little bit. And, pull this down toward that hole. Try to fill in this crack a little bit. And this stuff sets up pretty quick. I don't usually have time to set up molds or anything fancy like that, so quick setup is just fine. Let that sit a while. And, not really a whole lot left on this, but I'm going to see if I can't. I'm gonna need a lot more. Yeah, it's all almost entirely broken off. Might even be a better idea. I'm not even pointing the camera at it. Yeah, this whole corner's broken off. Might be a better idea to wait until I have the front cover on, so that this is held in place here. And actually that's a separate piece, so I could do that on its own if I can find the hardware for it. And, probably better to do that than because it's not gonna stay together if I try to epoxy right now. All right, that's that plan. Back to that. Oh, I got plenty more epoxy, so that won't be a big deal.
See if I can find the what's it says for that. Cover. A couple of bolts. Get me started anyway. Well, that'll get me as far as I need to be because bolt hose lopped off. Actually, I'll put some epoxy up on that one yet. Power cord came out. That's annoying. Also kind of part of why I got rid of that camera. Word of advice, don't get a grinder with a buffing wheel on the other side, because the grinder runs significantly faster than the buffing wheel needs to. So it'll end up being not only terribly unbalanced by the grinding or by the buffing wheel, but it will be spinning the buffing wheel too fast for you to be able to use it for anything. Either get, if you're going to do buffing and stuff, get a dedicated lower speed thing, and for a grinding wheel, get either a double grinder, so you can have two different grits, or get a grinding wheel with a wire wheel on the other side, which I put a wire wheel on that one, but it doesn't have a guard, obviously, so it's not super great. So as it goes. That set up for a little while. Let's see if there's any. This one took some abuse at some point in its life. I don't know if that was from getting taken out at the salvage yard or from some dude putting it in, but there's all kinds of, abrasion and hits and scuffs, and it's cracked right there, so I'm going to fill that in. Just because I got a little bit left over, and just so that it's covered. How did what happen? All the cracks and stuff? This, I'll tell you from experience that these plastic timing covers get, being where they are, hot in a hot environment, and sometimes a very cold environment that becomes hot, and with age they tend to get brittle and crack, and if you're not really super careful with them, you get damage. All of this stuff is just careless handling when somebody was doing other work to it. Like I said, I don't know if that was from. Could have very well been the salvage yard, because they're parts yards are not known for being particularly loving with the stuff that they're parting out. And there are a lot of times, there's no point in us taking time, unfastening things. We're gonna just, wiring harness is keeping it from coming out. Cut it. The hose is in the way. Cut them. So, let that set up a little bit. And in the meantime, I think what I can do next. May have to run in the house and get some more paper towels. I'm not sure if I have very many more out here. Should have cleaned this off more when I had the heads off. Don't always have the luxury of taking the heads off when you're got the intake off for repairs, so good practice. I can shine a light down there and see that there's nothing that's going to cause a problem. We need to figure out a proper rolling camera stand one of these days. I've got it stuck to the side of my toolbox. I'm rolling that around. Not all of it. I'm just gonna clean up the gasket surfaces a little bit where the intake goes on, and that's gonna be it. If I had fancy steam cleaning box or something, if I had like everything disassembled, like if I were to have sent these heads out to be done at a machine shop, I'd get them back and they'd look brand new. But I'm not going through that much trouble on this. Where I put gaskets. This is not my own car. This is a neighbor who this is them. Yeah, this is my neighbor who popped the original motor and had a guy get this motor out of a junkyard, and he tried to do a swap but did it poorly, and it's been sitting for almost a year and a half. I took him up on trying to get it back together and working again. So I'm going to take this over to the bench. Get some clean cardboard to work off of here. Or I may not put cardboard down at all. Just take this up and yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I'm just gonna set it right back down, and keep going. Yep, that's fine. That's okay. Gas is leaking out of it. Back over to the engine stand. Crack the case on that a little bit. Hey, good to see that it's actually still running. Goodness gracious. How does that even happen? This is a little bit of a pesky thing because I've sort of taken this off as an assembly. And there's all kinds of shit hanging off. Dealt with. We're pretty close. So that's gonna go there. These are all the throttle body connectors, so that's fine. I'm gonna need to find. Where does this go? Bear with me a second. I probably didn't want that connector anyway. So, those of you who've been with us for some of this project may remember that this car is a 5-speed, but the donor motor came out of an automatic transmission car. So, swing this around here. There are a couple of... The devil is that? Got one of them in there? Huh. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's for the... So one of the things on this particular year, on this particular motor, make sure that this is all in frame. It's mostly in frame. Close enough. Didn't make it better. So one of the things that was different between this motor would have really run well. There's a spider nest in the one fuel injector. Anyway, so difference between the automatic motor and the manual motor in this particular year, one of the differences was the automatic transmission car has EGR system, exhaust gas recirculation, and that's what this. So the intakes are a little different. That's what this casting is for. that actually has this EGR solenoid valve that would is that actually in frame? Yeah, I think it is. So that would bolt on right there, and there'd be a pipe which I have lying around over there that I have to modify yet. There'd be a pipe connecting to that port down to a port on the left side head that taps into the exhaust ports and runs the EGR. So yeah, so this intake is actually pretty considerably different than this one. It's got this great big passage cast into it right here, and that's what I looked down into it and said, what the devil is that thing in there? I'm gonna wait for the delay, make sure I can actually see it. It's actually not a bad delay, really. Yeah, probably can't see it. There's a EGR coming up in there. Oops. Old intake gaskets. But there's a couple of odd things that I gotta, there's all this hosing and whatnot. I gotta make sure that everything lines up correctly. And one of the things is this PCV hose that is not present. That's interesting. A chunk of coolant hose. I'm gonna have to I may have to come up with something for this, as it's broken off down there. No doubt, Winnie. But the fitting for it is missing out of this motor, so that's odd. What else? Where does this? That goes to the throttle body, I think. That's right. Yes, here's another one. So these two are coolant lines from the throttle body, so they'll connect over like that somehow. Okay, so I need a PCV tube. And that list of shit. What the hell this is for? There's a line in the back there. And I think it's got a check valve or something in it. Maybe it's one of the, it could be a crankcase breather from one or the other of the heads. That's probably what that is. Alright. Save that for later. I don't think... So that's tapped off for this fuel regulator here. That's fine. That's a ground that just... Like I said, the junkyard's just in the way. Cut it in the way. Cut your throttle cables. Okay, so we're in good shape. Just gotta get that right there. Be pretty well lined up. I think those are 12 millimeter. Shorter extension than that. That's no, I don't. May or may not end up needing that. Smells funny over here. What's that? That's near enough. So these, there we go. Drop right in. That side's already dropped in. Actually beginning to look like an engine again. Hello, Ribbit. How are you? Don't think I have a torque spec for these, but I'm gonna go with my gut feeling, which is not a whole lot. Nope. That's another reason I want a proper desktop out here. Ooh. That's a spendy monitor. You like a 4K or something? That's not a torque wrench, the breaker bar. One millisecond. Yeah, that's... I might spend that much on 2 monitors. Wouldn't mind having $400 to spend on a monitor. That'll do for now until I can look up a proper spec for those. Find what did I do? Those other two, I guess the first thing to ask would be, where did I put the other were found them. Spark plug tube gaskets. O-rings or whatever the hell you want to call them. Better and better. Here's that EGR tube that I was talking about that this motor doesn't need because it's a manual and the intake doesn't have a provision for EGR, but I need something to plug the hole in the head that this was in. And instead of doing what the last guy did and putting a piece of hose with a plastic zip tie on it, what I'm going to do instead is cut this tube off down here somewhere and crimp it, because it's a flare fitting, so this will seal itself against the hole in the head when it's fastened in. It's a little crusty. Squeaky, squeaky. So I'm going to cut it off down here and crimp it a little bit, and then just lay a little bit of weld in there, and then run this back into the head, and that should so yeah, it sucks, Joel. Lucky fortunes. So originally, when we pulled the motor out, found that the timing was off. So when both of the camshafts were lined up, both of the camshafts lined up with each other, and they both lined up with their timing marks. But when they were lined up, the crankshaft was off by about 100 degrees. So all three of these, if it's in time, should line up with their timing marks and be pretty much, the timing marks are all vertical. And this one, the timing mark, instead of being up here on the top, was down here somewhere. And so that's an indicator that bad things can potentially happen to the valves. And I was told that it had run after the guy had put the motor in it, albeit badly and not for long. And so before I took the heads off, I took the spark plugs out. I have something I can't recommend highly enough, and it's not expensive. You don't have to shell out $300-400 to Snap-on or whoever to get one of these. Really, all you need is a cell phone, or I think I ran this off of my tablet. This is a cheap Chinese, and I'm talking like $15-20. You can probably get it for less. Borescope or endoscope. I taped this one onto a piece of windshield wiper insert just to give it a little stability, and USB on that end, and you plug it into your tablet or your phone, and the software can be a little bit hokey, but if you search for just like endoscope or borescope or something, you'll find something that it's basically a USB camera on a wire. So anything that'll see a USB camera plugged into your cell phone will see one of these. And then I just took a spark plug out, dropped this down the hole, fished it in, and could see on the tablet that and it's not super maneuverable. So I mean, I can kind of look around a little bit, but since the spark plug comes in from up here and the exhaust valves are on the bottom, I could see the top of the piston, and I could see each piston had two little marks on the bottom. And then you can't see my hands because two little marks on the bottom from the exhaust valves hitting. So then we pulled one head off and looked at it, and with all the valves in the what should have been a closed position, you could shine a light from the cylinder, from the piston side of the cylinder head, and see light coming up through the exhaust port. So like, no, is bad. So we got new valves, did all that. Fun time was had by all. Mm-hmm. Where that goes. That is on a... Is that a fuel return? Is that a vapor line? Huh. It's puzzling. There we go. Goes down to what I take to be... No, it's not a fuel rail. Maybe it's just like a vacuum port or something. As it ties, it must connect to something on the throttle body. Grab that real quick. And hour and 11, we're still cooking. Here. Oh good, the camera's still running. Just set the it's upside down. Okay, so is it? Yeah. No? Yeah. Okay. So that's one coolant line there, that's the other coolant line there. What do you attach to? That may, okay. Yeah. That must... Okay. That attaches to the idle air control motor for some reason. I don't know why that needs a vacuum source, but whatever. Okay, cool. Just so long as I know what the hell it is. Another fun thing we found was this throttle body was stuck on a friggin' RTV. Probably tomorrow, rivet. I'd like to get the timing belt back on today, and get the intake on, get the timing belt back on, get it timed. And then I don't have enough room back here to get the flywheel and clutch done. So I gotta get the crane back out and hoist this off, and then do the flywheel stuff. So I'd like to get at least the the timing belt done tonight. I'm not gonna be quite as late as I was last night because I have to work tomorrow. But I'd like to at least get the timing belt done, and maybe pick it off and do the flywheel. But we'll see. It smells like gasoline over here now. Damn it. Yeah. Monday strikes again. I could have come out earlier and started working on this, but didn't get up until like 10 o'clock and came down and started making brunch. And as soon as I got on the computer, my friends are like, "Hey, we're doing 4-player achievements in Payday 2. We need help." There were only 2 of them at that point, and I was the 3rd, and then our 4th joined a little while later. So I spent most of the morning, spent the last couple hours of the morning, and about an hour in the afternoon playing Payday 2, and my dad came over before 1 and helped me take a tree out by the garage here that was effectively dead. So if I'm at work, we have ProDemand, which is I think that's Snap-on online repair information service, which basically has all the manufacturer stuff. We have that, and we have something called Identifix, which gives a lot of diagnostic information, a lot of technical specs. For my own stuff, let's see, and I think I either for the Subarus, you can find, if you look around a little bit on Google, you can find PDF downloads for most Subaru models. I don't remember the exactly where they were right off the top of my head, but within a minute's searching, yeah, I'm pretty sure that shouldn't have taken it. Whatever, I got plenty. That's fine. Within a minute searching, there was either one of the Subaru forums or somebody's Subaru webpage that had, here are factory service manuals in PDF form for, here are legacies from 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 2010 or something. And here's the same for Imprezas. Here's the same for WRXs. Here's the same for Foresters. So yeah, typically for my own stuff, I try to find someone else who has posted it online somewhere before I shell out. And that's where I have all my manuals for the Jeep are saved in PDF. I do have a printed, actual book printed service manual for that tractor. Just because I couldn't find it anywhere online, so. But yeah, so if I put in, let's see, Subaru service manual. That's not the one I used. Don't make me a liar. That's not what I wanted. There we go. So for example, here's WRXinfo.com that has a whole bunch of WRX manuals. Here is Subaru Legacy International.net that has a forum post with all kinds of factory service stuff. Yeah, a little bit of Googling, especially if there's a, I can't speak to 4chan, but especially if there's a pretty big community for whatever you're looking for, you're liable to find, that somebody has put up. Oh yeah, here's all the factory service manuals they ever made. Have fun. Yeah, I'm fortunate enough that for my own stuff, I can look it up at work. The printouts that I got for this are from that SLI.net forum post. I can tell that this is a throttle body bolt on account of all the RTV in the threads. So, where did I put those throttle body bolts? Here they are. At least that was one of them. There's the rest of them. And here is a proper fucking gasket. Because $5. Yeah, that's a fair point. Okay. Some of these bolts are longer than others. Some of these bolts probably go in a specific location. That really had a lot of RTV on it. So those are... one of these longer than the rest. That's peculiar. Do I in fact have the right bolts? I
appear to do.
That is really still cacked up. But I'm going to find that I don't know what I'm going to find. That's odd. This is 2000 Legacy, or Outback, rather. Legacy Outback. This is a 2.5. Oh, that guy. Right there. I should probably put that in the stream title or something. By the way, this is what I'm working on. Where did I put that gasket? What do with the gasket? There it is. So, pretty clearly a throttle body bolt. Not sure. Got rumble a little bit. I suspect you're probably right. And an EJ25 yet to boot, so even more common. Some places in the United States, it's like, I think at least 2 states claim that Subarus are, or at least, I'll rephrase that. There are 2 states of which people will claim, sort of tongue-in-cheek, that the Subaru is the official state car. Vermont and Colorado come to mind, first of all. Only an 06? Really? I would have thought it would be, you would have had them longer ago than that. Thank goodness, we've had Subarus of one stripe or another since the 70s? Question mark? think it would have been quite that long ago. It's not an issue with you having them under a different name, is it? Because I know they're called Liberties in the Australian market. Huh. Well, go figure. I know we didn't have a whole lot of turbo cars over here in the States up until like '02. I think for 2 or 3 years in the early '90s, you could get the Legacies with a 2.2 liter turbo. But it was literally like 2 or 3 years. It wasn't a real hot seller, you know. And we've had Imprezas since '93, but we didn't get they've had WRXs in Japan since probably about that time, but we didn't get a turbo WRX over here until '02. Okay. Here's our brand new flywheel bolts, just out of an abundance of caution. Here's, that's weird. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 6. Here are our pressure plate bolts, because I broke one of them somehow. At least they are supposed to be pressure plate bolts, so it's actually look bigger than what I took out. So I think this is the broken one, so I can actually compare. No, that looks about right. Okay, cool. So brand new pressure plate bolts, out of an abundance of caution, and new idle air control motor bolts, because I had to drill one of them to get it out. So what's recent in Subaru? They didn't foist the Tribecas on you, did they? They just canned those over here. Actually sold more than the Bajas did somehow. to shift through all the gears. Jeez. Yeah, the Bajas are pretty neat. There's, I don't know that I'd take one over a wagon necessarily, but it's kind of a shame they weren't more popular, because now they're like, you know, it's like hen's teeth trying to find the silly things. Yeah, Tribecas were 06 to 14, so that's probably it. Because they were selling like none of them. We have a turbo Baja that comes into the shop that absolutely has the shit beat out of it. And, it's kind of a shame. But, fit, damn you. And then one of the owners, or no, actually both of the owners, their brother-in-law had a regular Baja. That's odd. Why you no fit? You being a pest. He was trying to sell the thing for a while. I think ended up selling it to one of his like nephews or something for a lot less than he was asking for it on the private market. But yeah, I think it had like over 200,000 miles. He's asking like $8,000 for it. Like, Jesus, dude. I know it's they're not super common, but you're asking. Oh well, it's had head gaskets done. I put a whole bunch of money into it, and this gasket's like too big. What the hell? Pain. I'm gonna have to get a new gasket for this. God damn it. This is also my job. Not so much engine repair in the day-to-day. I do suspension and steering and alignments primarily, but also brake work, ABS stuff, power steering. This is just some side work. Ah, dang it. Look up parts. 5. Gonna be under fuel air, idle air control valve gasket. $7. Jeez. Let's see it till the end of the week. I might just have to get one from Subaru locally tomorrow. For my hobby or for my for my work. Enough. $12, $7, free shipping. Oh, that's prime. Work. 20 plus bennies. Enough. Why you no work? All the gaskets would be reusable. You'd think this would be one of them. I'm just gonna... Well, there's only one thing left for that. Shmoo. No. No, we're not gonna do that. Well, it's enough to keep me in a house on my own and pay the electric and pay internet and all that. And so it's not too bad. Well, I'll have to... I gotta order some stuff from Subaru tomorrow anyway, so I'm gonna be on the phone with them. So I'll just say, yeah, while you're getting me that intermediate steering shaft, I need an idle air control motor or idle air control valve gasket too. You'd be so kind. That's another funny story. On my own car. I enjoy working on Subarus. I don't know necessarily if I'd want to be a dealer tech or not. Well, that's probably pretty unlikely to happen at this point in my career. I've been working at my shop for 10 or 11 years now. So I graduated college of 3, 4. So I started working there in like December of 2004. So call it effectively, beginning of 2005. So, and I was going to tech class there for a little bit, for a couple of years. So I was kind of part-time-ish, where I'd have classes during the week, and I'd like come in and work on Saturdays, for like 6 weeks, and then I'd go work for the rest of the school period, quarter semester, whatever it was. It's a cooperative learning experience. So it was off and on full time for like a year and a half, and then I went full time. So probably full time has been close to 10 years. Yeah, I went to I graduated high school on a college track, sort of, and got into, was accepted to a couple of pretty decent schools, which honestly, not that hard, I don't think, if I could do it. Went there for about 4 months, 5 months maybe, and dropped out. And came back home, got a summer job, started up community college, which really would have been my better choice. Would have been just to do community college right out of the gate. I'm not particularly academically inclined at that point. A lot of sitting around on my ass and not going to classes. But here I am now, 10 years on, doing okay. But yeah, so dropped out of college, university, whatever you want to call it. Came back home, worked for the summer, and then started up in the fall at the county community college in the auto tech program, and got a job through that actually. One of the other guys where I work had been in that class. He had started like the year before me, and mentioned to the instructor that they might be hiring, and the instructor said, "Oh, you live up in that area. Why don't you give these people a try?" So I, applied in like in November or something, and said, "Well, we're not hiring right now, but we'll keep you in mind." They called me up in December and said, "Yeah, why don't you come in and we'll talk?" And been there since. Yeah, it's funny though. Honda, Toyota, Subaru all have a lot of stuff that are built in the States now. Which one's UTI? Is that one of the for-profit ones that just got shut down? Let me see. As far as no, okay. As far as domestic American brands, that's tough. I wouldn't touch Chrysler with a stick. Might beat them with it if it were a particularly stout stick. Let's see. Ford has actually... Probably my first pick would be Ford. And GM hesitantly after that. And Chrysler can die in a fire. What was I getting? Oh. Cutting implement. That's what it was. I mean, if you look at stuff like the first generation Focus is absolute pile of garbage. But even the Focus, their shit cheap car has, the fit and finish and the build quality has gone way up. The Fusions are really nice cars. Kind of the same thing with the Escape, the little SUV, compact SUV thing. The first generation of those were better than the Focuses, but not great. They've gotten a lot better. Yeah, with the exception of the Dodge trucks. And we'll see how they go. What with Fiat at the reins. It's been my... Cool. It's been my feeling that why are there more than 2 wires in there? I wonder if that's from that. That's probably what that is. Okay. It's been my feeling that for a while now, the only and this may or may not be borne out by actual numbers, but my feeling has been that the Jeep brand and the Dodge trucks have been like the only thing keeping Chrysler afloat, right? Because all the rest of their cars are just absolute garbage. But killed off the Dart already. It was supposed to be the neon replacement. That's gone. Caliber, terrible. It remains to be seen how they're going to do from here with Fiat in control. There we go. It's probably... I'm pretty sure they did. Feel free to Google it and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they killed the Dart. And my sister got a Caliber once as a loaner when one of her Outbacks was in for a recall, and yeah, and she's not exactly a car person, and even she thought it was terrible. I'm just this is the crank sensor connector off of the other intake, and this one has, I'll show you in a second, but the one on this intake has got a little bit of damage on the insulation, like right at the connector, so I'm just going to butt this on here. Do they still? I could have sworn that they had tanked that one. DigDart. Where'd you find that information? Wikipedia says that they stopped making them in September. Thanks, Buddhist Wolf. We won't be done tonight, but we'll be back at it again tomorrow. About the same time. Thanks for hanging out. Where are you seeing that they're talking about an SRT for the Dart? Maybe in China. Where is your area? That says as of December 2015. And they announced in January of this year that they were going to can the thing. Although it says something here about bringing a revived neon imported from Turkey into Canada and the United States by 2018. But, yeah, the darts are dead. I think that article might be a little old. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a shielding braid. Okay. That's kind of what the Dart was, wasn't it? Just to replace, the current generation replacement for the Neon. Yeah, I'm pretty glad I don't see a whole lot of neons anymore. Although, what I still see, camera's over here, what I still see, despite all logic and reason, PT Cruisers. Don't know why, but there they are. So yeah, that had a break in the insulation right there. Being as that the crank sensor kind of important to just go ahead and fix that while we have the opportunity. I put the wire strippers? Somebody go back in the VOD and tell me where I set my wire strippers down. Nuts. Damn it. This one you need some. Set it down and poof, vanishes. There they are. Yeah, we get a turbo PT Cruiser comes into work sometimes. Defies all reason, but there they still are. Absolute clean. There we go. Some electrical tape. Still working? Yes, good. Whew, scared me for a second. There's nothing happening. Oh no, it's just haven't walked in front of the camera soon enough. And other garage-related news, things you can expect that I'll be streaming in the next couple of weeks. I'm getting a air compressor from work. I almost said new. I said, no, it's not remotely new. It's new to this location, but we're getting rid of one of our older air compressors. Said, hey, do you want an air compressor for $50? I said, yes. It's not sure what the CFMs on it are, but it's 3 horse, 240 motor, and probably at least an 80-gallon tank. So it's pretty stout. And, one owner said the only thing that it does right now is act as a reservoir for, as we have 2 big compressors all the way at one end of the shop that feed the whole rest of the shop, and that 3rd compressor sort of sitting kind of in the middle and has been really acting like a reservoir tank. So we're putting 2 new dedicated reservoir tanks in the upper shop. Taking that air compressor out is the only reason that it ran was to run the oil heat in the lower shop. And apparently it's got like a bearing knock in the motor or something, so which it's like a $10 part, but go figure. So we got a new little just 110 compressor to sit there and run the oil heat. And he said, "Yeah, you want this one? I'll take it. $50, sure." Did I do with shit? What did I do with that one plastic shield I had over here? God damn it. Crap. There it is. That'll hold up for a while. Good enough anyway. Not a huge load bearing part. That just goes right there. And I think that was what these 2 fellows were for. out. 15, 17. Now it's in time. Don't touch. And we'll move the camera. I'm not always looking at I'm always looking down at the top of my head. Battery still plugged in okay? Yep. Just fine. Alright. So that looks like, so it's going to have two marks in the middle between two teeth and one mark right on one tooth. And so that here looks like an old mark. That's pretty much between two teeth. Fine, there's another mark between two teeth. course, I'm gonna. There's. Looks like another mark. That means it's only 9:15? Yeah, it's enough. So, helpfully, give you tooth length data. The service manual, so we can verify that everything is correct. So between the leftmost mark and the middle mark should be 44 teeth. So should I have a pointer? That's 1, 2. 6, 7. 21. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. And that's not. There's definitely a mark there, but it's not even close to. I know it was a joke. Okay, so if that's the left-hand mark, which it looked like there was a factory mark over here, then the next mark should be right there. Disregard that one. And there should be 40.5 teeth. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. I think it was there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 40.5 would be on that tooth that I can't see a mark on it. Unless I counted wrong. So there's a idler there. Oh. Well, you could have your own show. Idler. Oops. Tricky to tell from this which one is which. think I have them the right way on. Those are 14s. Wouldn't that be a thing, though, if you had to retime the car when you change time zones? That would be there. Go under like that. And that would be totally wrong. Okay. Oh. Try this again. Can't seem to find all of the original marks. Oh, what a pain this is. So we want to be marked right in the middle there. And Z2 40 and a half. Let's go 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. 2, 3, 4, 5. 30. 40. Half. But that's got to go under the. How is that right? It's got the wrong belt on it? I'm counting wrong. So between that mark and that long mark is 40 and a half teeth, which is C2 between the crank and the left side camshaft should be 40 and a half. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Right. Now, did I miss like 5 teeth or something? I might have done. Jeez. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, I'm missing like 5 teeth. Never mind. God, I'm retarded sometimes. Alright.
I can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 25, 6, 7, 8. It's 40. That's 40 and a half. Disregard that shit. Fuck's sakes. Okay, so that's on there, and that is that's there. That actually leaves enough room for the tensioner to sit. Beauty. Okay. God damn it. So that is left side. It's the crank. Now, boys and girls, we count from the crank left to the right hand side, 44 teeth. So let's see if I can not fuck this up again. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 15, 20, 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30. So I screwed it up the first time because that's 30 and that should be 44. So, whoops. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 35. Except now that I may have had it right the first time. I don't know. Clearly, I can't be trusted to do like first grade math. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 1, 2, 3. That's 40. 41, 42, 43, 44. Should be that guy. Okay. That's the crank. And that's not where I expect the It's not where I expect the timing mark to be. I expect the timing mark to be there. So that's like, that's like another off by 5 error. I wonder if alright, let's try this again. 5, 10, 15, 20. Did I look at the right one? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, 40, 44. Come on,
this is supposed to be easy. No, I am. That's interesting. Hey, how about you focus? It pretty clearly shows on the left-hand bank, the letter D there is the timing mark, and that's pretty clearly the joining line between the head and the cam cover, cap, girdle, whatever you want to call it. Why am I off by like 5 teeth? Something's weird. Well, no, the tensioner's not installed yet. The tension's up here. I should be able to have it in time without the tensioner on. Oh, alright. I am confused. Unless that's like not the right belt. Pretty sure that was the belt off of this motor. I don't think I have another random belt lying around. Balls. It's kind of a pain, isn't it? Well, I need to get this timing belt line back up first, but it's not cooperating for some reason. Pretty sure all my counting is correct. I don't know, maybe. Z2 40.5. Should tension there. Unless I'm just being thick about this. May need to pick up a belt for it. Back after these. Damn it. Stay there. Yes. Because if I put the tensioner on and I don't have it in the right spot, then I have to recompress the tensioner. I should be able to line everything up without the tensioner on it. Unless I've got these two backwards or something silly like that. Which I might. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 and a half. But that should be correct. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 44. Well, that's why you have the marks on the timing belt. Then you line. You're supposed to be able to line the marks up. And have it. And then be able to tension it, have it in time that way. But for one reason or another, it's not lining up the way I'm expecting it to line up. I mean, it tensions up here, but I don't think there should be this much slack in the belt down here. I recall these as being kind of tough to get on. It's even, I think even before you tension them, you should have to, just be able to slip the last idler on. I think something's weird with this belt. Something's weird with something anyway. I don't know if it's me being thick or what. Ignorant said. I'll admit it's been a little while since I've done one of these, but I don't
Don't remember having to have the tensioner on before I was able to get everything lined up. What the hell, we'll give it a shot. Got the markings all ass backwards. Now that doesn't line up now. Tensioner only goes up that far. Lucky bastard. Half the trouble is I can never remember if I got these pulleys on the right spot. I know one of them goes on last and one of them goes on first, but I don't remember which is which. Pretty sure that one goes down there. Might not, that actually clears there. So. Oh man. Okay, so did have that on. Did have this one on the right spot. That's good.
Line up, damn you. Cut the tooth there. There's something wrong here. Why am I turning the crank or the cam on this side? I'm trying to, it has spring pressure on it. It wants to sit in a different location than where I want it. Or maybe this belt's too short. Or something. Guess that's a possibility. Ugh. What a mess. Should not be this hard. Oh boy. Yeah, half the problem comes about that this was out of time to begin with before I had anything to do with the project. So I'm kind of having to work things out from scratch. I've had the head whoever was, it might be the wrong belt. That's a possibility. It's unless I've managed to lose the belt that I pulled off of this and just happened to magically, pull another belt out of my ass. I'm pretty sure this is the belt I pulled off of this motor, but like I said, I only came into this after somebody else had tried to swap this motor into this car and pulled this motor out of a junkyard. So I'm having to come across things and fix them as I find them. No, this is a timing belt. It very much matters where it aligns. That's the whole reason that I had the heads off earlier or last week. It was so far out of time that it bent all the valves. So this is not just a regular serpentine belt. The problem is it's an old serpentine belt and was out of time, doesn't have any marks on it. I have service manual data that should be correct, and I've tried using that here to get the correct marks, but for some reason I'm not coming up with it working the way it's supposed to. See? Timing belt. Not a serpentine belt. Very much not so. But like I said, it's old, and I didn't take any marks off of it when I pulled it off because it was out of time, and I have this information which is supposed to be correct. So Well, I may end up doing that. I was trying to keep it inexpensive. Um, but may have to do that. Should have 220. Let's see how much of that. Yeah, I probably will end up doing that, but just yeah, I want to know why it's not working, right? So where's my center? Where's my center mark? So that to that should be 84. Yeah, part of it's trying to keep it as inexpensive as possible, since there's even more going on, with it. Yes, all 223 of them. That's where we're kind of going next, maybe. So that's 44. It should have 223. Seven 48. 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 8. 8, 7, 28, 13, 22, 41. Let's try that. Part of it's because, I'm here and it needs to be done, and there's nothing else I can do tonight. I can't very well run out and buy a timing belt at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. Belt's the right size. Something's wrong. Need to buy more kerosene one of these days. Out. Well, it's the right number of teeth, but it's not lining up the way it's supposed to. I don't think. That's lined up, but it doesn't line up with either of the other two. The 4-cylinder. Six cylinders are timing chains. I don't think it'll amount to anything, but just for shits. So that won't fit. Okay. I might be missing something. I haven't figured out what it is yet. Problem is that with the marks that I have, nothing lines up right. My coworker's brother started by taking a perfectly serviceable Honda Civic and taking all the struts out and putting cheap eBay coilovers on it. Let's see, like, that should be correct, but this timing mark should be up here. And this one is lined up with the mark, and it's like 4 teeth off. So you can understand why I'm confused. You know, it's not that the tensioner wasn't there or what. It's that, you know, unless I've got the wrong, unless I've got the wrong information here for the where the teeth are supposed to line up. Don't think I'm doing it wrong. I mark these off every 5. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 44. That should be from the crank to the left pulley, but it's off like 4 teeth. And this should be 40 and a half. I counted that off, but it's off by like 4 teeth. God damn it. That's dual cam. Which is strange because it should be, unless I opened up the wrong, unless I had the wrong PDF, but it should be right. I mean, it's pretty clearly for a single cam motor. It's not like it's, I'm trying to use something from a 99 or something. It's a dual cam. But, something's really weird. Like I said, I've done these before. I've done timing belts on my own car. I've done timing belts on other people's cars, on these motors. And it shouldn't be this hard. I don't know what on earth is going on. And the 2.2s are 223 teeth. Oh, is it 05 or 06 they changed? Oh. I think so. I don't see why they wouldn't. You know, a 2.5 ought to be a 2.5. You know, really, even the 2.2s run 223 teeth on the belt, so there shouldn't be. Even if they manage to somehow put, you know, the wrong sprockets on. I don't know. I'm deeply puzzled. I probably am gonna just see if I can get a new timing belt locally for not too much cash. Give that a shot. There it is. That's alright, Firebat. I don't even know what's going on with the timing on this thing. Those all match up. Yeah. I am stumped. You do you, crazy man. Not as much as I'd like to, unfortunately. $45. I guess there's nothing to be done for it. Mostly suspend. I mean, like I said, I've done this a few times. All right. You know, it shouldn't be this difficult. But something I'm missing, maybe. Took everything off. I've had the heads off, the valves. Not sure what you mean. What did I take off before putting the pulleys on? That's it. It's like $45 at AutoZone. Yeah, I think I can. Tensioner doesn't look like it's any different. Components that I removed from the front. Like I said, I had the heads off, but I pulled these two pulleys and the old tensioner, and that's it. It's pretty much the same dimension. Friggin' H&EJ25. Exhaust valves. It's a weird ass tensioner. That's not exactly the same, but the timing mark is vertical there, timing mark is vertical there, timing mark is vertical there. But I can't get it to do it with this friggin' belt.
Directional is about the same. Probably in advance sometime somewhere. This is the old belt. Unless I, for some reason saved a belt from one of the other ones, but it has the right number of teeth. And that is the old belt. So I'm saying I may just end up getting a new one. And I'm having such a. This one's giving me such a friggin' trouble. Yeah, the crank mark's lined up, and I haven't moved that since I had the heads off. And you can go back and watch, yesterday's or whatever's, and you'll see that the pistons are back down in the bores. But I'm saying, that timing mark's lined up, that timing mark's lined up, that timing mark is lined up. I can't get the belt to fit with the marks that I put on from the service manual, counting teeth from here to here and there to there. I can't get the belt to line up. I don't know why. Six. Yeah, probably. It's really bugging me because, like I said, I've done this before. It shouldn't be this difficult. Well, the only one I have doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, 46 bucks at Advance, so it's going to be about 45 bucks no matter where I get it. Run out tomorrow and grab a new belt, I guess. I don't know. It's the only one I have. It's got the right number of teeth on it, from what I can find. This should be the crank, right? So we got the crank lined up, and that should be over here, which it's not, right? Unless I think I'm looking at the wrong mark. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the right timing mark. Hang on a second. Okay, yeah. So, the timing mark right there on the crank, and is near as damn it to lined up with the little, it's a smidgen advanced, but if I have the the teeth count right. It shouldn't matter that much. Just about lined up with that mark. And that's the timing mark for the right hand cam, right? And that should line up like that with the part line. And here is the timing mark on the left hand side, near as damn it lined up with the little notch on the belt cover. Well, I care about the marks on the belt. Because it should work, and when it doesn't work, I get wary because I've just put all new valves in the thing, and I don't want to break it again. But if I line my marks up, I get that. And the mark is no longer where it ought to be. If I line up on that, I can't, because it'll be right about there. Where did I put the tensioner? Oh, damn it. No, it's right there. And it's not even, that it has the helper lines on it or not. Right out of Subaru's service manual, so many teeth between the crank and the right hand, so many teeth between the crank and the left hand, and it's not lining up. And that, maybe I'm being irrational. I don't know. That could be true. But it should work. Getting it on. Oh, these little bastards. This is the bit that I can never remember how to do the easy way. That's what I thought. That's what I usually would have done. This shouldn't be this hard. Really shouldn't.
Camera's still running. There we go. That's why I like having markings, so I don't have to do this nonsense where I need, 3 hands to keep everything taut and in place while I put all the fiddly bits in. Stick around, Twisted Soul. I'll give you a shop tour as soon as I've given up on this thing for the night. May happen sooner rather than later. There might be a tooth off. Yeah, you're right, it probably is. Pretty close. Yeah, I think I might be off a smidge. Actually, let me. Ocean waves. Come on. A different color. Ah.
There. There. So the hair left, and pretty damn close, and that looks like it might be off a tooth. Agreed? I'll say it's a damn sight better than it was. Right about there. See, yeah, it looks like it's off just a little bit. That looks pretty close. I think about a tooth off on the driver's side. Do you think that side's off? I think it doesn't. It's hard to align the camera, but I think you can sort of looking at it here. That looks pretty well dead on, but I'm reasonably certain that that one's off a tooth yet. What do you mean the crank mark is offset? Right about like that, just sort of so the right edge of that tooth is right on the edge of the sensor, and just didn't move it much. It still looks like that's not lined up quite right, and that still, I know it looks off on the camera, but it looks lined up in meat space.
shot. Ah, fuck. I figured that would happen. God damn it. You know what? It's past my bedtime. That seems to work. I don't know why the numbers aren't lining up. I'm done. Fuck it. Hey, Rotax wins. That was totally not rigged, I swear. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I didn't make that up, I swear. Go figure, you know. Right, so, like I said, shop tour. So, that is behind all the ladders and the lumber and whatnot. 1956 Ford 800 or 860, something like that. Yes, there is a tractor back there. And this is a 1977 AM General M151A2. The last of the real actual military Jeeps. Be seeing more of that in the coming weeks. What for brake jobs and such like. And a 2000 Subaru Outback with engine problems. We'll hopefully get fixed one of these days. Okay, that is it for me. Yeah, I don't know why that beat me up so much. It shouldn't have been that hard. What the fuck? Alright. I'll be back every evening until I finish this damn thing. Kills me. Ooh, sorry. Sort of like that fire bat. AM General only built them because it was because it was a government contract, and Ford lost out at that point because up until that point, Ford actually designed the things in the late 50s and then built them up through like 71. And then AM General took over the contract. So not quite an LLV. Probably a little better, actually. Nemzi's following. Thank you. Right, I'm done. Good night. Tomorrow, 7 p.m.-ish Eastern. I'll be here. Y'all can show up if you want. Good night. No sweat.
Ba-ba-da-ba.